Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports.
The time for talk is over as we are just mere moments away from the Super Bowl. Two teams now have a chance to prove they are the best. It's the Eagles going up against the Chiefs. So the time has come. Let's send you out to the stadium and join the two men that will have the Super Bowl call. Here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Larry, they broke ground on this place in the year 2000, opened it in August of 2002, and it's been the home of this franchise ever since. Welcome to NRG Stadium in Houston. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis, beyond thrilled to be bringing you the Super Bowl. All the pomp, all the circumstance, all the pageantry. It doesn't get any better than this, partner.
I'm loving sharing this booth with you, sharing this moment, this type of a game. For all the teachers who said we'd never make it, we're here.
And we talk these last couple weeks about the buildup, the anticipation. I think these guys are just ready to get out there and get this thing started.
And I know that both coaching staffs have spent considerable time trying to figure out how to best bring their team up to a peak without taking them over the edge and causing a lot of issues early in the game.
And you don't think much of a pregame speech is needed for this one?
I think the pregame speeches were the shortest all year. If they didn't just say, let's go get them, guys, they probably talked too much.
We begin the next half-century of Super Bowls to a strobe of flashes. Super Bowl 51 from Houston is underway. On the return, it's Knile Davis. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So here come the Chiefs for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the #1 overall selection back in 05 out of the University of Utah. It's Alex Smith.
I think one of the things that attracted people to Alex Smith initially was his mobility, and that's never changed. That guy's a great athlete, but he's so sharp with the football, so accurate, and takes care of it so well, he rarely puts his team in bad situations.
Ground. It's the first carry here for Jamal Charles. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Well, good luck there as a ball carrier. You get handed that football, look up, oh, there's a big D tackle ready to swallow you whole for a loss.
Yeah, you kind of count on your guys to give you at least a little bit of time, a little bit of space to try and maneuver, but not on that one. And when you have a defensive tackle who is that strong, that agile, he's a lot to deal with. Sometimes you have to double him, and sometimes you're not able to block him no matter who's trying.
On second down, here's Smith. Incomplete. This is Albert Wilson. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 11 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
short yardage situation. Here's Charles. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's got time in the pocket. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
Holding offense.
So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. From the gun, here's Smith. Airing one out for Macklin, deep downfield. And they went big on first down, proves unfruitful. And certainly a key cog in this offensive wheel is Jeremy Macklin.
You've just got to find ways to get him the ball, whether you put him in the slot or put him out on the perimeter.
On second down, Jamal Charles. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. A pickup of 7 there, but they'll still have 12 yards to go on third down.
And that was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on first down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
So second down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on third. Throwing on third down, Smith. Finding time. Look at the time. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Now Sproles. Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And the Eagles take possession. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by the former Heisman Trophy winner and #1 overall pick from Oklahoma. It's Sam Bradford.
And Sam Bradford, he has touch and accuracy, and he has it in bushels. This guy is amazing. If you watch him throw 7-on-7 or watch him throw routes versus air, the ball hardly ever hits the ground. He's absolutely a receiver's dream when going out for a pass.
On 1st and 10, Bradford. And Matthews over the middle with a grab. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
That was not a completion that results in a highlight video. But at the same time, if you have those kind of completions all game long, eventually one of them might turn into a highlight.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. Second down, Bradford. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking there for Reuben Randall, and it's 3rd and short. And a peek at the offense. And Matthews, a guy that we have to talk about.
And Jordan Matthews, Brandon, is an anomaly. Normally, a long receiver plays outside. He likes to work out of the slot. does a terrific job absorbing punishment and catching the football.
Defense has to stand tall here, 3rd and 1. On the ground, the first carry for Ryan Matthews. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
I know it's the first half, but it's still hard to curb the enthusiasm for that stop. 3rd and 1, and the offense can't get there. The defensive team has got to feel very good about themselves. Great job out-leveraging the offense.
So on 4th down, the Eagles will call on the left foot of Donnie Jones to punt away. Back deep for Kansas City, DeAnthony Thomas. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. And now working their way back onto the field, the Eagles defense. They forced the punt the last time, got off the field. I'm sure some of your D coordinators through the years, you liked when you heard those words, get off the field.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Or maybe you didn't like it when you heard those words.
It depended on when they were yelling them. But in this situation, absolutely perfect. Get off the field, force a punt, let the offense take over and do their thing, and it resulted in a field goal.
Now we'll see if they can do that again. They'll start the drive with Jamal Charles. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. And the defense now for the Eagles.
Connor Barwin is one of the most versatile outside linebackers in the league. Started his collegiate career as a tight end and basketball player. You see that athletic ability on display each and every week.
And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on 2nd down. Again, it's Charles. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
They'll come out in the pistol. Here's the option going right. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Here's Dustin Colquitt now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
They begin the drive with Ryan Matthews. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Now a second down throw for Bradford. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. He lost 4 there, and it's third down. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
And an extra DB here for the Chiefs on third down.
Pass situation.
Third and long for Bradford. Surveying the field. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tamahale able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that'll bring up fourth down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Here's Donnie Jones now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here's Thomas.
Whoosh.
Sheds a second man.
He's building up some momentum, isn't he?
Well, nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Charles, the low setback. He'll get the football here. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They'll keep it on the ground with Charles again. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
Well, so far, this game has gone the way the defensive coordinator had hoped. They've dictated things. They've not let them run the ball very well at all. They gave up a nice game there. I doubt it'll back off their confidence. They've played so well throughout this entire game.
So the offense needing 4 yards. It's third down. Now Smith. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And this may be a big early turning point in this Super Bowl. They're going to go for it on 4th down here. On 4th down, Smith. And it's complete to Kelsey. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. It'll be a gain of 8 yards. And they're able to convert here on 4th and inches.
We always talk about big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments. I think that 4th down qualified. That was a heck of a throw.
One receiver left, 3 to the right. On 1st down, it's Smith. It's complete to Chris Conley. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Here's the option going right. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. And the Eagles will go with an extra DB here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd.
Thinking pass all the way.
He hits West underneath. And he'll go down at the 28. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they've rallied and made the tackle.
So it's 4th down, and the Chiefs called on their kicker, Cairo Santos, for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And the Chiefs are out to a 3-0 lead. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
Yeah, as an offensive coordinator, if you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work. But in his defense, this has been a stifling defense so far. So they've got to start finding a way to unlock them as this game goes on.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. On the return now, it's Josh Huff. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. They'll run it now out of the gun. Spinning past him. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. And a glance now at the Chiefs' defense.
Dontari Poe emerged on the scene fast as a young player and continues to make big plays at defensive tackle.
So 2nd and medium, 2nd and 5 now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Bradford from the gun on 3rd down. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
Here's Donnie Jones now. as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. The Chiefs bring pressure, and they block it. Now scooped up inside the 20. And they're going to get the football here with possession 13 yards away from the end zone. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop, a man down on the return. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. And a great spot to start this drive from here. Now a first down throw. It's Smith. Looking for someone to throw to. Going underneath for Charles. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Jamal Charles, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Here's Huff to return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes this from the 30 to the 34. A couple of Chiefs there to bring him down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Second down following the run. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big pickup there on the run. 33 yards.
I know throughout his pro career, Ryan Matthews has been injury-riddled. But the best part of his game to me is his ability to break tackles and run with power and physicality.
And a prime example of that right there on that play. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That was another good run, and he's having an excellent day. And right now, I don't think his team can have any more confidence in handing him the football.
Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. Down right around the 25. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
And once again, they go with Sproles. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
And partner, in a lot of short yardage situations, you'll see the linebackers step up into the gaps, what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, to make sure they take away all spaces, all creases. That one worked really well for them.
They only needed a yard, instead went backwards. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So a good kick there, and they wrap up the drive by putting 3 on the board.
And you know, let's face it, you're not always going to come away with 6. Defense in the NFL are just too good. But you've got to come away with something. And there, they get 3.
Now it's Sturgis converted on the field goal. Now he'll send this one away on the kickoff. Returnable here for Davis. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. We put our attention now on the Eagles' defense. And they gave up a touchdown last drive. You kind of need to hit the reset button after every touchdown given up, Charles.
I love that. And the way that you phrased it is perfect because from series to series, you can reset how the game is going to go. If you gave up a touchdown before, it doesn't mean you have to do it again. And if you made a great play before, you have to reset again anyway because they're going to attack. So I love the way you phrased it and put it out there. That's what they have to do in this series.
Not like when you're playing a video game. You can't hit the reset button here. Let's go.
No, you shouldn't anyway. That's for sure.
Now Smith. Quick slant. That's caught by the veteran Macklin. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
So 1 quarter down here in Super Bowl 51. It's the Chiefs on top early. The NFL on EA Sports continues right after this message. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. As the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. And they've got it here with a first down. On 1st and 10, Smith. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. On 2nd and 10, Smith. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
A first down carry here for Charles. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And he's got his man. That's Macklin. 8 yards there on a first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
10th carry now for Jamal Charles. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game, but when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Smith. He's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there, back at the 39-yard line.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This from 54 yards away. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Offense readies for a 2nd and 1. Now a handoff here to his running back. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
And now it's a 3rd and 4 situation for the offense. Sproles. And he's got room. And he'll be brought down, but a tip of the cap on the spin move as that gives him a 1st down.
I thought guys that were over 30 weren't supposed to run the football this well in the National Football League. How about that veteran leadership? A big-time run combined with some nice blocking by his offensive line, showing that the ins and outs of being a veteran still has his place in this league. His odometer is not totally turned over yet.
So they pick up the 1st down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. On 1st and 10, Bradford. Now they go screen. It's complete. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. A big play there on the screen pass. 30 yards.
What really hurts defenses on screen passes is that they eat up one of their levels right away. Because you know, most defenses, 3 levels. D-line, linebacker, secondary. But on a screen pass, you're inviting the defensive line to get past them. And then you throw the ball over their heads. And now, there's just 2 levels left to try and stop big guys out in front of a guy running with the football.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. From the gun, Bradford. This will be caught at about the 5. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Offense working with a 2nd and goal now from the 3. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Third and goal, Bradford. He's got time in the pocket. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. So now on is Caleb Sturgis for the Eagle field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Sturgis able to knock it through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach, but it kept the offense out of the end zone.
Now it's Sturgis converted on the field goal. Now he'll send this one away on the kickoff. Returnable here for Davis. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
So it'll be first down here after the run. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Here's Smith now on second down. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Macklin. The reception good for 7. It's third down. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1, you know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. On 1st and 10, Smith. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Here's the option going right. Room here to run. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. They'll run it now. This is Charkandrick West. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, It all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
To throw on second down is Smith. And this will be incomplete. He was looking for his running back, Charkandrick West. And it'll bring up third down. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on third. Throwing on third down, Smith. Thomas has got it, complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Here's Cairo Santos now for the Chiefs field goal. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this score will stay right where it is. The Chiefs defense here ready to head back out onto the field. And last time out, they gave up the chip shot field goal, but obviously could have been worse than that. I think they felt pretty good about only giving up 3.
No doubt about it. Anytime an offense gets into the red zone, the thinking naturally for the defense is, okay, 3 points. We're going to give up 3 here, but let's make it no more than that. They met their goal.
On the other side, though, the offense, they weren't very happy.
No, because there's an opportunity. Once you get to the red zone, you're not thinking about kicking a field goal. You're thinking about how do you get it into the end zone, and when you don't, you walk off the field feeling a little bit of failure on that drive.
Yeah, who will have the better feeling at the end of this drive? Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. 10th carry now for Ryan Matthews. Oh, and the ball's out. Matthews loses it. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
Smith going to turn and give to Charles. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
To throw is Smith. Screen pass to Charles. And he is going to lose yardage here. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. And he'll keep this one away from Sproles as this is angled toward the sideline. We put our attention now on the Chiefs' defense. And they forced that fumble the last time. And when it happens on a previous drive, you kind of get thirsty for it to happen again.
No doubt about it, because the person who created the turnover or the takeaway, he's getting the gold star. He's going to be the one we look at in film session and go, way to go. Everybody wants that praise from the coach. That means the next time out, you want it to be you.
Do they still hand out gold stars?
You know, amazingly enough, it's the simple things in life that motivate these guys.
A sticker, just a little gold sticker.
A little helmet sticker in college.
Yeah, put it on your fridge.
Put a little gold sticker on their scouting sheet. Things like that. They love that stuff.
Makes them feel good. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
The insistence of speed at every position is really seen at the defensive end spot. These guys in the old days were often outside linebackers. They just pushed them forward because they wanted to play fast and get to the quarterback or the running backs quicker than ever before.
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved.
False start, offense. Still second down.
Second down, Bradford finding time and seeing nowhere to throw. He chucks this one away from harm, incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Bradford. Surveying the field. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Justin Houston with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Here's Donnie Jones now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Super Bowl 51 after this. A reminder, coming up at the intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Larry Ridley and the crew in Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Here's Donnie Jones now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. Returnable for Thomas. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. And now here comes Kansas City. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And they'll start this drive with very good field position. One receiver left, three to the right. Smith on first down. He's got a man wide open. It's Macklin. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. 22 yards on the pickup there. Good enough for a Kansas City first down. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
And now the offense operates in the red zone. Now a first down throw. It's Smith. This will be caught at about the 6. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. Here's Smith now on second down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. A long way to go for the offense here on third down. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Third and long, it's Smith. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Here's Cairo Santos now for the Chiefs field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6. So a good kick there, and they finish off the drive with 3.
And that should be the goal for an offense. Finish each drive with points. So that's a nice job there to come away with at least something.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. Here's Huff to return. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Chiefs defense, they get set and ready to do battle again. They're just looking to duplicate what they did last time, force the 3 and out, and that led to a field goal.
The only thing better, really, is creating a turnover. 3 and out, get off the field, feel good about yourself, turn the ball over to your offense, and they put the ball through the post with a field goal.
They're probably pretty well rested after that 3 and out, too.
One would think. That's how you get it done. Create the 3 and outs, get to the bench, get your rest, and hope your offense can control the game.
First down, Bradford. And this is Randall here over the middle. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. Second down, they need less than a yard to pick up the first. Now Bradford on second down. And Matthews over the middle with a grab. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Bradford. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want. Get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
They come out 5 wide. 3 of them to the right side. On second down, Bradford again. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up sleeve. A first down throw for Bradford. Left side caught by Matthews. And down inside the 15 he goes.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Got the hand caught up in the grill of the face mask. 15-yard penalty.
So tough for a defender. You're trying so hard to make a play, and the way that these offensive guys can move around, sometimes your hand gets into the wrong place.
They come out here in the eye. And they'll run it here. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. Second down, Bradford. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Reuben Randall in the final seconds of the first half. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. So they just do get the touchdown in before halftime, and now a PAT will tie it.
So what we're seeing is one team is going to be really excited right now. How about the other side, though? Will they be deflated, or will they go ahead and gather themselves, regroup at halftime, and come back out because we had an even half?
Yeah, we did. We'll see. Should be a good second half, that's for sure. Caleb Sturgis now for the point after. It's right through, and we are now tied at 13. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Returnable here for Davis. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And we will likely not see another play here as they take the knee and head into the intermission all tied. So as the set designers rush out here to get us ready for the spectacle to come at intermission, these two teams will head to the locker room in Super Bowl 51 from Houston. As we send you over to our headquarters in Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Now looking to take advantage after the turnover. Smith's on target here, and this play goes for a score. The Chiefs push the lead to 10. Now to late in the first half. To once again sack the QB, this ends up as a huge loss in yardage. Still a little time left on the clock. Bradford connects on a pass into coverage, and he caps off the 6-play drive with the score. We're tied back up at 13. That'll do it for our final halftime show of the year. One half remains in this Super Bowl. To bring it to you, let's rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Bradford now to throw on first down. He's got time. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Justin Houston in there to get him for his second sack of the night. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Play fake to Matthews. Now Bradford. He's got time in the pocket. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum. Big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third. Third and long for Bradford. Finding time. Goes underneath for Sproles. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. And that's going to bring up a fourth down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
Here's Donnie Jones now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this is taken at the 23. Now a hit and a loose football. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. And maybe getting a little too cute there on the punt return. Sometimes they forget Paramount holding on to that football.
I really do believe most of the return guys think to themselves, when I get the ball, I'm going to make the play that's going to change the game.
I'm going to break it.
I'm going to break it. And you love that they have that attitude, but your point is so well taken. What do you have to do? First and foremost,
hold on to it.
Take care of the football. That's all he needed to do.
They'll try to get the running game going with Ryan Matthews. And room there to work it inside the 25. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Offense in a good spot here, 2nd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Dontari Poe in on the stop. He's fumbled already once, Charles. I'm not going to say that that was in his mind there, but I'm sure that during some of these plays he is mindful of it.
And once you fumble the ball, you know what your team tells you and your coaching staff? Take care of it. Rest of the game. And it does get in your mind a little bit, and sometimes that slows down your effort in trying to get free from tacklers.
And the defenders know it too. They sniff that out, don't they?
Everybody wants to swarm the football. You know what the rule is. First guy hold up the runner. Everyone else try and get there and strip the ball free. A little football one-on-one there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at it, and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Bradford on first down. His throw caught right around the 6. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they had to do, and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. From the shotgun, it's Bradford. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Dylan Bailey in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push them back more. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And that'll make it 3rd and goal. So now things get interesting on 3rd and goal from the 1.
This almost becomes a Darwinian call, doesn't it? Almost survival of the fittest here. I know we can go all cliche. I'll go ahead and do it. Who wants it more here? Who has a better leverage at the line of scrimmage? Let's go and see what happens.
3rd and goal. Can the offense punch it in here from the 1? And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
Did your high school have that same push them back cheer?
I was a kicker.
Well, it certainly worked. Didn't matter if we were kickers or not. That one worked, didn't it? They pushed him back at his last snap of the ball, and boy, they created a nice play for themselves. Would they lose 3 on that one?
Yeah, from the 1 back to the 4. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So it's his 3rd field goal now of the ball game, and they have needed his leg because this last one gives them the lead.
It's been a back-and-forth kind of a game, Brandon, but now you've got to tell your defense, hey, we need to stop here so we can let this momentum carry us through to the next drive.
Now it's Sturgis converted on the field goal. Now he'll send this one away on the kickoff. Fielded about a yard deep. Oh, look at the juke. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the 2nd half. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the 2nd half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
That was a good, strong run there. While it won't pick up a first down, it was definitely something needed by that offense. A positive run. They got a good push by their guys up front. Maybe something they can build on as this game continues.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Charles the lone setback. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8. It moves the chains.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
It'll be Charles again. He has been the workhorse tonight. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
Smith will hand it off here to Charles. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
And that's why you see a lot of teams that like to play 4-3 defense, especially against teams that run the ball really well, because you count on your defensive front, the tackles and the ends, to eat up the blocking in the offensive line and keep that guy in the middle clean so he can roam to the football and make a tackle. In this case, he introduced himself and said, "Hello, my name is Mike."
No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. They get him that time thanks to the safety blitz as he sank for a loss of 4. I don't think that was a blitz, was it?
No, not at all. I mean, there was no blitz called on the play, had other responsibilities, but he saw an opportunity, saw a path, and he took it.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And tough starting field position here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And while they hope to continue this drive, it's really already mission accomplished. They've given enough space now that they have to punt the ball. They've done so with that first run.
On 2nd down, Ryan Matthews. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
On 3rd down, Bradford. And this is going to be incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Darren Sproles. And it's 4th down. Here's Donnie Jones now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. That's taken it around the 40. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. And now here comes Kansas City. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover, and wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
They begin the drive with Charles. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. From the gun, here's Smith. Surveying the field. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on 3rd down and 9. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A first down throw for Bradford. It's caught by Randall. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Second down, 8. Now Bradford on 2nd down. He's got time. He sets to fire deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And that play was what every defense is wary of. The big strike attempted downfield, but they were in excellent position. They didn't get fooled, and while he didn't come up with the interception, was able to bat the ball down.
Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. Bradford from the gun on 3rd down. He's going to let it go again. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Here's Donnie Jones now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. .47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now here comes Kansas City. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They come up in an offset eye. Now a first down throw. It's Smith. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. And on 2nd and 10 now. Smith. And it's caught over the middle. Wilson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Smith on first down. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Second down following the incompletion. Throwing again is Smith. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. On 1st and 10, Smith. Incomplete. His favorite target, Travis Kelce, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play, because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Back to the air. Smith on 2nd down. Quick slant. That's caught by the veteran Macklin. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Quick pass play there on the slant. Charles, works out well for the offense.
The offense loves it. The defender hates it. Hard to get through the body of the receiver to get to the football trying to cover a slant.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Third and 2, Smith. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
Here's Cairo Santos now for the Chiefs field goal. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and this game is tied. So that's 3 field goals for him now, but heck, he's not even halfway to his career best of 7.
Seems like the 7 field goal games are the kind of games I always get assigned to in my other job. Let's hope for this offense's sake they can start cashing in on a few of these drives.
So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. They come out here in the eye. A handoff left. It's Ryan Matthews. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wondered if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much. Third and 11, 5 in the secondary now.
Nickel look. One quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. All even as we get ready to start the fourth. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Play fake to Sproles. Bradford. And he hits his man, Matthews. Jordan Matthews all by himself. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jordan Matthews, 72 yards. And the Eagles have moved out in front. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Point after now from Sturgis. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the gadget play gets them into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, it's Sturgis to send it away. Returnable here for Davis. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Alex Smith and the offense heading out for their next possession. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind, it's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
Now a first down throw. It's Smith. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. Second down here after the incomplete pass. Out of the gun, Smith. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And ready for 3rd and 6. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. He hits West underneath. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 52 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
And now a first down following that long gain. From the red zone now, Smith. And his throw's going to be incomplete. D'Anthony Thomas, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. Ten yards still left on second down. They come up in an offset eye. They'll hand it off. This is Charles. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Let's see what the defense dials up here. 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Smith. Able to locate Wilson. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Albert Wilson, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
And it is good, and his guys have taken the lead in the 4th quarter of this Super Bowl. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. This is fielded at the goal line. Oh, what a move. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now the Eagles offense back out onto the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm, You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive.
False start, offense.
They'll run the option left. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, we just saw the recipe for success right there. Big body, strong, agile, playing with great leverage in hands. Not really able to be blocked on that play. Close things down inside.
Now a 20th carry for Ryan Matthews. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
But there's almost no doubt about the play call there. On 3rd down and long, you figure they're going to throw the football. I've got to give a little credit to the offense for taking a little bit of a chance there, running the draw, hoping to catch them off guard, but the defense was ready.
Here's Donnie Jones now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. This is fielded at the 27. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Now it's Charles taking it from the pistol. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
On 1st down, it's Charles again. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Here's Smith now on 2nd down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Jeremy Maclin, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and 4. Third and 4. A shotgun snap for Smith. He's got time in the pocket. Great protection. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete.
Holding offense.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. First and 10, Bradford. And this is Randall here over the middle. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Second and 5, and on the outside they're playing press coverage. And to give this time to the tailback. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
That was a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29. A couple of cheats there to bring him down.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
That draw play got blown up by the blitz of the defense. Ordinarily, that's exactly what you want. You want them to blitz, and they go past you, and you go past them for a big gain. But in this situation, they hit him at the worst possible spot, right exactly where you're running the draw, and he got in there and got him.
Play fake to Sproles, Bradford. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
Here's Donnie Jones now, as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. Taken in at the 22. 12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. Heading back out for another drive, here's Jamal Charles. And these numbers showing up on the screen, that's why he's their star. They kept him down for a little bit, couldn't keep him down for a full 4 quarters.
But what they were hoping for was a half of the game. And if they could have shut it down at the half, they had done their job. But as you mentioned, a full 4 quarters, and the best, they always feel like they're 1 run away from changing the momentum or breaking something big, and we're starting to see that here in the second half.
Smith on first down, and it's caught over the middle. Wilson, and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 14 there, and that'll be good for a KC first down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? They'll run it now out of the gun. Cuts right. Jamal Charles, nobody in front, and all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Jamal Charles, his second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Chiefs have broken our tie as they take the lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Now the point after try for Santos. And they will take a 7-point lead now. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time with just punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. First down, Bradford. Looking left sideline, incomplete. He was looking to hit Ryan Matthews there out of the backfield. And that'll bring up second down. Second down now after the incompletion. A second down throw for Bradford. And he comes back with one complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Offense coming up, needing 2 yards on third down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have a first down as they get into the ground at the 37. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 35. That one goes for 34 yards. And it'll be a Philadelphia first down. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like. Like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
They go play action here on first down. Ertz over the middle. And down inside the 15 he goes. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
There's so many things to watch for when you play defense. and reading your keys. You always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a nifty little deep juke spin move. Not a great deal there on the back end, but a nice gain still.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now third and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
On 3rd and 1, here's Bradford. And this is pulled in by Randall for an Eagles touchdown. Reuben Randall, his second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. To return, here's Chris Conley. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
That confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Now a first down throw. It's Smith. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Charles. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
Tie game late, and the offense really has to be conscious of the clock here as it's becoming a factor late in this ball game. They'll fake it. Now Smith. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Sproles, the return. 51 yards on the punt there, and the Eagles take possession. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Even score late in the fourth. Let's see if the defense can play within themselves, not give up the big play and contain, and keep this knotted up. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. 2 minutes to go in Super Bowl 51 from Houston. We're back to perhaps crown a champion after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here. Now a 2nd down throw for Bradford. And that is incomplete here. Here's Bradford. He finds Aguilar over the middle. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Bradford finding time, and his throw is incomplete. Connect on the first down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. Bradford to throw. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. And the Chiefs showing a dime look as they defend this 3rd down. Now Bradford. He hits Randall. Complete. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas and soft spots and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Here's the option going right. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. And as the fourth quarter winds down here, we're all even.
And no one wants this game to extend. They want to go ahead and win it right now.
They come up in an offset eye. And he'll give it here to his running back. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on third and long. Here's Sproles. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a fourth down. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. It's just their first. They've got two more to use here in the final stages. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. So here now, big spot for the kicker. It's Caleb Sturgis. This to take the lead here in the final minute. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the fourth.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
And now here comes Kansas City. They need to get this around the 40 on the other side to get into field goal range. Look at the clock, a decent amount of time here in a tie game. What do?
No panic situation at all. They've got to get a couple of chunk plays, pick up nice bits of yardage.
Target the sidelines?
Target the sidelines because you want to get out of bounds and make sure that clock stops. Because if the clock stays running, that makes things that much tougher for you. It can always bleed out on you.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Smith now to throw. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. Chris Conley, the intended receiver. And now it's second down. Now it's Smith. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. And the O-line will have to do a better job protecting here on third down after that sack. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Smith turns and gives to West. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
But once again, a good example of situational football. That was third and very long, so you know they were guarding against the pass. And when they decided to run the ball, that was okay. Whatever yardage they picked up, as long as they didn't get to the first down marker, the defense was willing to concede, and they stopped them well short of a first down.
So we saw a lot of points. Overtime comes. The defenses, they clamp down.
Rather amazing, isn't it? Because would you have even thought that we'd get to overtime after what we witnessed for 4 quarters?
Not at all.
And have 0 points on either side? Not a chance, right? And somehow it happened. We always talk about making adjustments. Maybe both defenses took 4 full quarters in order to get an adjustment. Got 1 good period in for both defenses, and now they go home. You buying tonight?
I thought it was you. I did last week. I did the last 2 weeks.
Oh, I was trying to go for 3.
Dinner on you, my good
Trying
man.
to go for 3.
Nothing between these two teams for 4 quarters. Here we go to begin overtime. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. This is the first Super Bowl ever to go to overtime. Can you believe you and I are on hand for this?
This is so cool to be here for the first time. In this situation, can you imagine the nerves that jump back up? Because ordinarily we worry about nerves at the start of a game, then they settle in. But in overtime, it's all on the line. And remember, if you get the ball first, a touchdown ends it. Can they march it downfield and get it done?
Are you nervous? I'm nervous.
I'm beyond nervous.
Bradford now to throw on first down. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Offense in a little bit of a bind here. 9 yards to go on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Bradford. Now a hit, and the ball comes out. Bradford has lost it.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here's Donnie Jones now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now here comes Kansas City. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. They run. Charles. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40. Give the tackle that time to Rodney McLeod.
With that kind of run on first down, that's a winning type of a run. That just sets things up for them moving forward as they begin the drive.
Second down following the run. They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. So 3rd and medium here, 3rd and 5. Now Smith with his first throw of OT. And that is incomplete. Travis Kelce, the Pro Bowl tight end, the intended target. And 4th down coming up.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Neither team scored yet. Now we go to sudden death. Next points win this game.
How about the tension right now? It is ratcheted up, isn't it? I mean, now whatever happens, points are scored. That's your ball game. Can't wait to see the defense now. Do they get a little more aggressive in order to not let the team just drive the ball easily down the field?
Got to be careful, though, right?
Yeah, if you're too aggressive, you just give up something easy and cheap. But some defensive coordinators, they'd rather take a stand that way as opposed to being nickeled and dimed down the field.
And to give this time to the tailback. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's 2nd down. Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved.
False start, offense.
Two receivers left, one to the right. Now a 2nd down throw for Bradford. Goes underneath for Sproles. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. Play fake to Sproles. Bradford, he's got time. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Here's Donnie Jones now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Here's Thomas. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. And now here comes Kansas City. Now a handoff. This is Charles. And not much doing. He'll get this only up to about the 36. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
8 yards to go here on 2nd down. Now it's Smith. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Nigel Bradham in there to drop him the 7th time tonight. He's gone down.
Now that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Big sack on 2nd down. Now the offense needs to convert here on 3rd. From the gun, here's Smith. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. Now Sproles. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. Second down, Bradford. And this is Ertz with it, right side. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
So a 3rd and 8. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. A nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. Here's Bradford. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. Here's Donnie Jones now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line. Was hoping to make a play there on the return with his speed. Instead, he makes a play for the other side.
Yeah, and how many times have we heard coaches say, you know, sometimes it's not really about those X's and O's we draw up. It's about those Jimmies and Joes. And when you have a punt returner, he's one of those Jimmies and Joes, one of the best out.
And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. So this game will come down to the right leg of Caleb Sturgis. This undoubtedly the biggest kick of his life. And his kick is good. The field goal is through the uprights, and they've won the Super Bowl. And the Lombardi Trophy will rest in the city of brotherly love. The Philadelphia Eagles are the Super Bowl champs. And their remarkable season ends in the most remarkable of ways. They get to put next to their name, Super Bowl champion.
And they can't ever take that away, can they?
Nope.
That lasts forever. So good to see the emotion when it's all said and done. You see the hugs, you see the guys sharing, the collective happiness. Makes me want to carry you around a little bit on my shoulders to celebrate the triumph. And congratulations to them, a fantastic season.
And they are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. What a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gunn signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.